Good afternoon, dear families, parents, and all the followers of HES Academies, Facebook pages, and YouTube channels. Welcome to another family engagement broadcast. This is Mr. Sharafuddin, Family Engagement Community Liaison for HES Academies. We're excited to announce or present this exciting program for you today. We have a group of students who are members of the student government from Star International Academy who will be presenting some of their tips for virtual learning. And I would like to introduce to you the president of Star International Academy Student Government, Tabarak Al-Tamimi, where she will take it from here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. So simply for today's podcast, we're just going to be helping you with tips in virtual learning, especially since everything changed this whole year. We'll be giving virtual tips presentations so that you can, learn the simple things and better perfect what you do really in school. And we're going to be starting with Zainab first. She'll be taking it on now.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zainab Mathkar, and today I'm going to be presenting you tips for online learning. So the first tip is find a place to sit with no distractions. One of the keys to effective studying is finding a good location. It's difficult to study in a room full of distractions. However, the ideal location for you may not be the ideal location for someone else. You may not like studying somewhere private or even quiet, but you do want to make sure that you study at a location that is conducive to your method of learning and always to concentrate and free of distractions. Finding a place to sit with no distractions can make you work more efficiently and calmingly. Set up your workspace. When setting up your workstation, it's best to find an empty space in your home, like a spare bedroom, attic, or basement. Choose a quiet spot that's free from any distractions so that you can take calls, attend video meetings, and get work done without no issue. If you don't have a spare room, find an out-of-the-way area from your home where you can set up or work from your kitchen or dining room table. Whatever you do, don't work in your bedroom or living room, as these areas are intended for rest and relaxation and should be kept as such to help you maintain work-life balance. Setting up your workspace can make you feel more productive and you can get your work done. Tip number 3, be prepared for any exams, tests, and etc. Some tips that can help you be prepared for exams are keep up with your work. If you attend class regularly, keep up with the readings and take notes continuously. Studying can be a pain-free process. Make sure to review class notes regularly throughout the semester. Tip number 2, don't study last minute. Try studying for 20 to 30 minutes per day for a week leading up to an exam. All-nighters simply don't work for most people, so try studying 1 week in advance to get better grades. Tip number 3, taking notes will help. When you take notes, you're writing down many things you will probably forget later, so it's best that you write them down so you can study them later for any upcoming events. Tip number 4, keep yourself interested and engaged. You can keep yourself interested in class by sitting comfortably, having water next to you, or maybe even having a snack. Also, when you participate in your live sessions, you have a better understanding of the lesson. Once you ask questions and write them down on your notebook, it can help you study for a quiz. Tip number 2, do a good job. Complete your work on time with enthusiasm. Go above and beyond what's expected of you by suggesting areas of further work on the project. Step up to the plate for every duty you're tasked with. Being dependable is the starting point of being engaged. Tip number 5, why should I participate in class? It would be a great idea if you would participate in your live sessions because you will understand what's happening inside the lesson your teacher is teaching. Active class participation also improves critical and higher level thinking skills. Students who participate in class have studied the material well enough to introduce new concepts to their peers. Participation can also help students learn from each other, increasing comprehension through cooperation. Tip number 8, make sure to get plenty of sleep. Sleeping hours are often the time when we completely synthesize information, especially topics we've covered in a couple of hours before bedtime. You want to be as fresh as possible and be able to fully engage your working memory when you take an exam. Also, don't stop exercising or taking time for yourself, even at a final exam time. Tip number 7. Create study rules and follow them. If your study sessions are unproductive or you're struggling with motivation, establish some personal study rules. After you have established some rules, be sure to tell your parents or other trusted family members and friends to follow up with you. A common rule many people set for themselves is scheduling specific time frames for studying with periodic breaks. If you don't have anyone to follow up with you, it's still a good idea to establish study rules. Tip number 8, which are my personal tips that I use almost every single day. Attend all your classes, get or stay organized, use your time wisely, use this textbook if you're provided with one, study, talk to your teacher if you need help with anything, take time doing your homework, pay attention during class, take notes, manage your study space, don't multitask, take breaks, and use a journal. Thank you all for watching my presentation. I hope this motivates you and inspires you to become a more.
Wow, Zainab, that was a great presentation, and I wanted to surprise you guys by the presence of one of your favorite admins and star, Mr. Hani Abdullah, assistant principal, is with us today. Thank you, Mr. Abdullah, for joining.
It's my pleasure. When Mr. Sharafuddin told me, as busy as we are trying to get ready for opening day on Monday, I had to step in and stop what I'm doing. And I love that you guys are participating in this and taking that leadership role. I know it's not easy talking in front of a bunch of people, and you guys are really, really risk takers, and I'm so proud of you guys, and great job. And I love seeing your faces. So this is a great opportunity for me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Mr. Abdullah. Tabarak, take it from here.
Thank you so much, Zainab. That was an amazing presentation. Now we're moving on to Hajar.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hajar. I'm the class president at 7B. Now, I'll be sharing some tips for online/virtual learning. Tip number 1, have a clean, organized space. Having a clean workspace is just as important as finishing any assignment because it is the key to focusing. When you have all your stuff in a nice order, it reduces stress and helps you focus. If you have a messy desk, you'll be worried about cleaning it and therefore lose focus. Tip number 2, how to bookmark. For me, bookmarking makes everything easier. You can bookmark any site that you don't want to keep typing to get in. With just a click of a button, you can get there. Here's how. There's a star on the top right near the 3 dots button. Click on it and save it by pressing done. Yes, it's that easy. Tip number 3, you can drag your classes to stay focused. Did you know that you can move your classes around? Click and hold on a class and you can move to the top or bottom. I use this method to put the classes to the science I need to complete on the top row. It helps me know what I have to complete and has overall helped me stay on track. Tip number 4, how to take screenshots. Screenshots are actually pretty easy. Hold the control button and press the button over the 6 key to the left of the lower brightness button. And there you have it. Tip number 5, how to mute/unmute without actually pressing anything. A fast way to mute and unmute your mic while in a live session is to hold the control button and D. With this, you can easily mute or unmute. I use this when I'm lagging a lot and I can't really because anything doesn't work too much, so I use keys and it's perfect for that. Tip number 7, to-do lists and schedules always help. An easier way to organize your banner is to organize your banner card or write all the things you need to complete. I usually give myself a specific amount of time to complete them. Tip number 8, check your email often. Checking your email often helps you not miss anything because if there's an emergency, you'll be happy you checked. Important emails don't get notifications, so it's easier to always have tab open for Gmail. Tip number 9, using your school calendar. Take advantage of your calendar that comes with the classroom. It can give you dates of when assignments are due and what assignments are upcoming. Tip number 10, how to change Google background. This isn't really a but it's nice to look at and gives me a change of scenery. You can change your Google background by pressing search symbol at the bottom right of your keyboard. And sorry, everybody's really having technical issues.
Thank you so much for those amazing tips. Now we're moving on to Kother.
Tips for online learning, a presentation by Kawthar Kosan, 7A. How can I improve my grades? You can improve your grades by participating in class, taking notes, and studying more often. Taking notes is a great way to improve your grades because you're writing down what you were hearing from your teacher. Also, if you can use those notes so you can study for any upcoming quiz or exam. It's very important to pay attention in class because it can help you learn to discover something you didn't understand. It can also help you process information for further lessons. Why should I actively participate in class? You should actively participate in class because it will help you understand what's going on inside the lesson. Also, if you get a wrong answer, don't be embarrassed because it will only help other students get the right answer. Also, it will help other students get the correct answer in case they had the same question as you. How do I stay organized? If you have any utensils or notebooks that are scattered all over your workspace, make sure you put them in one place. This way you will work more efficiently without a big mess all over your desk. Also, if you have any cups, bowls, and mugs, it would be much better for you if you would take them to your kitchen sink. This way you will be working much more efficiently and faster, without anything to distract you on your desk. How can I eliminate distractions? You can eliminate distractions by turning off notifications, calls, text on your phone. You can sit in a place which can be your room, basement, living room that has no distractions. It will do a great impact on you, which is helping you do your work in peace with no distractions. How can I pay attention during class? You can pay attention during class by focusing. Also, it would help a lot writing down helpful information during your class onto your notebook. Also, if you keep your camera on, so your teachers know that you are there and they will pick on you to answer some questions. Participating in class will help you understand what's going on inside your lesson. Here are some helpful routine tips. My suggestion: number 1, sleep around 9. Number 2, wake up at 7 to have a healthy breakfast. Number 3, start the day by attending your live sessions and doing your homework. Number 4, take breaks every 20 minutes when you don't have live sessions. Number 5, have snack breaks and water breaks. Number 6, pay attention and write down notes during your class. Number 7, when you are done with school, take a break off technology. Number 8, go walk outside or just step outside to see beautiful nature. Thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed my tips for online learning.
Thank you so much. That was honestly amazing and very helpful. Now we're moving on to Noor. Noor?
Noor, we can't hear you, honey. Can you check your cam mic? If you click on the cam mic icon and try
How
to
about now?
make sure that, yeah, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Tip number 1, how to add a background on Google Slides. Number 1, add a Google slide. Number 2, press the icon background. Number 3, insert a picture or use a single color. And number 4, you're done. The next slide shows the picture of how you do step number 1 and number 2. So the first picture shows which button you should press to add a background, and the second one shows the different options that you can choose, either a color or you can add an image. Tip number 2, how to allow Google Classroom to send you emails, reminders for homework, and links. So number 1, go to one of the emails that Google Classroom sent you. Then scroll down to the bottom, press where it says unsubscribe, and then you can turn on or off features on how you like to get reminded. The next 2 pictures are basically how you do it. So first, you press on one of the emails, go down to where it says unsubscribe, and then you can basically turn on and off features however you like it. Tip number 3, learn technology. Learners of all ages can struggle when they use a new tool or software for the first time. Remember, asking for help is normal.
Thank you so much, Noor. That was really helpful. Now we're moving on to Nega.
So good afternoon, everybody. For presentation, I'll also be presenting my virtual learning tips. During this difficult time,
Najia, the sound is a little bit laggy. So can you try that again?
yes, of course.
Oh, now it's perfect. All right.
Okay, so during this time, during this difficult time of COVID-19, our virtual learning experience has been very unique. During this presentation, I will gladly demonstrate how to keep yourself focused and how to properly study. I can also give tips and advice on establishing a flexible routine, setting up with goals, and things for your classmates. Keeping yourself focused. Find a room with no distractions, as in away from siblings or any noisy or distracting place. Temporarily silence your non-essential devices, including messages, social media, games, etc. For those who need impulse control, I suggest to block distracting websites. You will need to have your camera on because you'll less likely not stress. Have a dedicated space. Quiet should be organized. Identify your learning objectives. Stay up to do classwork. Have an understanding of material. Ask questions. You're always who might have questions. Asking yourself questions can help you understand. To take study breaks. You will not only work efficiently if you don't give yourself breaks. Get a snack, walk, stretch, or have any physical activity. Stay motivated. Reward yourself when you complete a task. Turn studying into games. Study with your friends or siblings. Establishing a flexible routine. Have an appropriate amount of sleep. Students should have at least 9 to 12 hours of sleep. Give yourself time to have a meal. It can help with staying concentrated, your attention span, and memory. Stay hygienic, as in brush your teeth, wash your face, and take a shower. Stick to your class schedules. It helps give an idea on when to take a break or time. Setting realistic goals. Passing general assignments, as in tests, quizzes, state testing, etc. Having an average or an above average GPA, interacting with and participating in Google Meets, and making new friends virtually to create memories and not only think of this time as a bad time. Getting to know your classmates. Interact in the Google Meet chat box and breakout rooms when it's an appropriate time. Greet them and ask how they're doing. It's a great way to have small talk. Reach out to your classmates throughout social medias and emails. Create a virtual studying group and participate in class discussions. Yes, it's required, but it's also a way to get to know your peers. Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much. Okay, so now we're moving on to Fatma.
Hi, my name is Fatma Bayadi, and I'm gonna show you how to group tabs on Chrome and how to bookmark websites so you can reach them faster. Okay, so tip 1, how to bookmark a website. So you have to open a new tab. And then you have to go to the website that you want to bookmark, and on the right-hand corner, there's a star. So click that. And then a box will show up where you could name your bookmark. And so after you finish that, you put the name, the preferred name for the bookmark, and then when you open a new tab or any other website, you could see all your bookmarks below the search bar. Tip 2, how to group tabs. You have so many tabs open and you just don't know what to do, so you have to group some tabs to make multiple tabs take less space.
So you have to double click on the tab you want to group and then click Add Tab to New Group. And then you have to name the group the way you want it and change the color to the preferred color. And then it will create a new group, and it would usually start on the top left-hand corner. Now when you want to see the tabs that you grouped, you just have to press on the group and they will show. Now you know how to bookmark a website on Google Chrome and how to group tabs. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.
Well, thank you, Fatmi. Mr. Abdullah, I hope you took note. I think we need these tips too.
I am learning so much. I'm not the most tech savvy. I'm getting better, especially after this year, but I'm learning a lot. Thank you guys.
Yeah, that was really helpful. Now we're moving on to Kenzie.
Tips for virtual learning. How to make sure you complete your assignments on time. Do them as soon as they post. Pay attention to your schedule and do each assignment posted for each hour. Make time after school to do assignments. Use a planner or virtual planner to stay organized. Check Google Classroom to do every hour or so. How to take good notes. Turn on subtitles during the Google Meet and take notes while your teacher is speaking. This is a GIF on how to turn on subtitles. And another way to take good notes is by going to lesson slides and taking notes in your own words. How to do good on tests. Study. Use the notes you took in class. Know when tests are. Use lesson slides the teacher posts. Use study guides if provided by teachers. Make flashcards. Call friends and study with them. Study every day for a week for around 30 minutes to be able to take on the test. Make practice tests. Pay attention in class. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're struggling to understand the topic, make sure you raise your hand and tell the teacher. If you don't, then you'll leave the class not learning anything. You could stay with the teacher. You could stay with the teacher and she could explain the topic more after class. She can send you to a breakout room and everyone in the room can help explain it. You can be put with a peer pro on the days you don't have her, and she'll help you on the days you don't have your main teacher. If you have any questions, there is a raise hand button in Google Classroom in the Google Meet, or you can use the chat. This is a picture of how to raise your hand, and that's the chat. How to feel refreshed and ready for the day. Get plenty of sleep. Wash your face or take a shower, brush your teeth, eat a healthy breakfast, read inspirational quotes, go for a morning's walk. How to make sure your eyes don't hurt or feel restrained. Take breaks every few to look away from your laptop/computer. During lunch breaks, try to stay away from electronics. Go outside after school. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.
Thank you, Kenzie. That was a beautiful presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was really good, and this is coming to an end. They were really good and helpful tips, and hopefully it helps you, with virtual learning since everything is new to everybody. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You guys sound like experts. What are you talking about? You guys sound like you could teach a college class about technology. You guys did a phenomenal job. I'm so proud of each one of you guys. That was amazing. Great job. You should be proud of yourselves.
Awesome job, guys. So now the floor is open for our audience. You can leave questions by leaving a comment. We have a few questions here, and feel free, anyone of you, to answer. So during this unprecedented time. You had to face one of the probably major events of your lifetime and our lifetime, one of the most memorable and challenging times of our century. Um, you've adjusted to change and you've adjusted to virtual learning. What are some of the things that you feel that have positioned you or uh, uh, made your accommodation of these changes easier? Do you feel you were prepared for that change?
Can we answer?
Honestly,
Yeah, any one of you step up to answer. Yeah.
Okay, I think one thing that's really helped me is like making a schedule and following it, because it's easy to get distracted when you have a laptop and Google in front of you. So making a schedule and following it is really important.
I love that, Noor. Even as an adult, I need a schedule to keep me focused. I know I have to go to work, but after that, what do I got to do? Even during work, what do I got to do? Keeping a schedule is so important. It's a great suggestion there.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree because. Well, go ahead.
thank you. I think it's just to remind yourself that everything will be okay. We'll be back in school eventually. We'll be with our friends. It won't be like this forever, and you just got to make the best of it. It's not fun to just mope around and just enjoy your time at home and enjoy yourself while we be back at school eventually. So inshallah khair.
Yeah, Fatma, you had something to add?
I just wanted to say that most teachers were positive and like.
Fatima, I'm going to make sure I share that with the teachers. From my understanding, you said that most of them were being positive and it was a positive experience for you. On behalf of all the teachers, I take that and I say thank you to you. I think you guys have made the experience a lot easier for them because it's an adjustment for everyone, not just for you guys. Remember, it's an adjustment for your teachers. It's not like all your teachers are professional at technology, so they've had to learn and adjust just as you have. So thank you to you too. You guys definitely have been patient and with us. I think we lost Mr. Sharafuddin. What
yeah,
else?
he's
Tell me
signing
about
off.
your
He's
guys'
signing off.
experience. Tell me about something that really stood out from online learning that was an eye opener for you guys. That maybe you learned that a new skill or something that you took away from this.
I'd have to say that virtual virtual learning has made me more independent when I'm doing my assignment.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that because that's the truth, right? When you're working from home, you have to be more independent. You don't actually have the teacher right there, right at your disposal, even though she's on the screen. But when you're working from home and you have those asynchronous days when you got to do the work yourself, it requires you to be, self-driven, self-motivated, and independent. And those are qualities that every human being needs to have. And whatever it is that you do in life. So that is the one thing that is it Najia that I 100% agree with. I think that was such a good thing for everyone to get a taste of independence and the need to depend on oneself to get things done.
Can I ask something? Can I add something, Mr. Abdullah?
Yes, Haja, go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to say that something that I got out from virtual learning was probably being independent, because although we can't cooperate with many people and like talk to our friends, and we have to learn from the computer, so I think being independent was something that.
Yes, definitely. Sorry, that was Zainab. Yes, definitely. I'm looking at yeah, guys. I see. Look, I'm learning in technology. I'm looking at the thing that's moving. So I'm picking the people who are the name that's moving or unmiked. Yes, it's definitely was a great opportunity for you guys to learn. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to be independent. And my son Adam, who is 10, is teaching me some things of technology that he's learned. So definitely a great opportunity for you guys to learn some independence and some new tech skills that you'll need in the future.
Yeah, for sure. With the tech skill thing, because like I used to like type really slow. Now I have to go faster, and I understood like how to do things online better because like if we didn't know, we kind of depended on papers and pencils, and now it's keyboards and laptops. So like we have to change a little bit.
One recommendation I would make to any student, whether you are online or not, one skill that you should always practice is typing, because you're always going to need it, right? It's a dying trade, but it's such a, like, I love the idea, love the fact that I was taught how to type, going through high school, and it's something that you can actually do online yourselves, and go onto websites and actually take drills on typing. And I highly recommend that, because typing is a skill it's a need, right? Especially with the way technology is going. This is not typing, that's texting. So, you need to use all 10 fingers for typing. Hajar, did you want to say something?
I wanted.
Yeah,
I
was
wanted
gonna
to
say
say
that.
that we probably one tip for virtual learning is to get a new modem. 'Cause I'm having. I'm
So
having
Sharafuddin got kicked out of his own presentation. See, it tells you technology happens. Go ahead, Hajar.
when I'm with the student government, I don't have nothing to worry about. Go ahead, Hajar.
I just wanted to add that waking up at 7:55 every single, or earlier than that, I wake up at 7:30 maybe. Keeping a schedule is gonna help you a lot because we're creatures of habit, and waking up at the same time every day really helps me focus. And if you wake up late, it's like starts off my day to something really bad.
It's very true. You wake up, shower, you have breakfast, you get yourself ready for the day. Personally, in my life, I've realized that waking up around 5 o'clock has been like amazing for me. It's really changed things for me, because by the time I get to the building, I have my energy level is sky high. A lot of people will think that you're waking up so early, you're not gonna have as much energy. It's actually quite a bit the opposite. It gives me time for my body to settle in, my mind to wake up and to get my juices flow and say, hey, let's go. It's time to go to work. But I love the idea of getting yourself up early and get yourself scheduled.
So, question for you guys. So, if you sometimes we live in houses where there are multiple people studying, going live at the same time. Have we? How do you deal with this? Like, if you don't have enough space, how do you manage yourselves in the house? How do you keep distractions to a minimum?
You could wear headphones, and if there's more room in one, if like you're sitting in the living room, there's more than one couch or desk, so you could each sit in one of those or sit in different rooms. If you have a distracting background, you can change your background in Google Meets, like if you have a distracting background. And another thing, whenever my sisters and I have like the same meeting at the same time, I just like go to my room and do the meeting there.
Those are all great suggestions. I've had to myself, working in the building, I've had to where I always have to close my door and make sure that I don't have any distractions going on, just like right now. Hi, Ms. Valdez. Say hi. We're actually live doing a family engagement thing. So yeah, it does happen, guys.
Another question is, with today's distractions, how if a student struggles, they find themselves always, for example, going to another site, or they have a 5 minutes break between two classes, and they played this game, and then the class started and they got distracted by the game, or if they have a device like a cell phone or an iPad. Sometimes, how do you discipline yourself? How do you maintain yourself on schedule and not get distracted by the tangents that technology can take you? Yes, Kauthar.
So my tip is like if you have a phone or any other device and you keep going on it and you get distracted by the notifications, just turn them off.
turn off notifications on the phone.
Put the phone in another room so you're not tempted to touch it, because you guys all want to do this. You all want to do this. Put it in another room. Put it somewhere else. Put your tablet somewhere else.
Yeah.
This happens to my sister. Her name, like my sister Barry, she's in 3rd grade. Whenever she like goes on her devices and it's during class, I make her go to her class. But another thing that helps when I have breaks between classes, I go on YouTube on the Chromebook, and I watch like these educational videos. They're called TED Eds, and then I pay attention to the time and until it's time for my class, and then I just join it.
I'm speaking from my own experiences, honestly, because sometimes we do get distracted because you can't tell a 11-year-old not to play a game on a computer when it's right in front of them. But I think one thing that's really important is set yourself a timer for your classes, because if like something is ringing, you can't ignore that. So I'd usually just like whenever it's time for my class, like 2 minutes or 5 minutes before, I put a timer. And when the timer rings, I just close the phone or the laptop and I go to my class.
Yeah, I agree with Nui. I put alarms for myself whenever like I have a live, just so I can remember.
Yeah, and sometimes like during lunch I get sometimes I have to go to bed late because I saved doing homework, so I just like sleep during lunch when I'm tired. So I also set alarms to like wake up for my next class. I put alarms for like 20 minutes before, so I can be able to like do my hair and wash my face and eat quickly before I go to class.
Great. Fatmi, I think, wanted to add something.
Also, when you have like a few minutes between class and class, I usually close the computer and go outside or go play a sport, like a physical sport with somebody. And also, yeah.
Thank you.
You know, Fatima, touching on that point, this is something that I encourage all students to be physically active. I know with technology, it's easy to just sit, and I know what you guys are doing a lot of sitting at home and being on technology. You need to stay active, right? You still got to be a kid. You still gotta live life. Go out. I know the weather's starting to warm up, but even within your own rooms, you know, move around, get some physical activity going, get your blood flowing, some physical exercise of some sort. But go outside, chase your siblings around, do something. But be active. Definitely be active. I know you guys have siblings. For those of you that do, and I know who they are. Chase them around. Just kidding, guys. Have fun. Enjoy it. Be physically active. That is so important. Because it has to relate to technology, because you're constantly sitting, I highly recommend you take those breaks and still be physically active. Good point.
Also, online school actually helps us learn more than what we're learning in class, because sometimes you're reading something about what you're learning in science or something, and then a question pops in your head and you go like search it up and learn about it, but then you have another question and you learn more about that, and you keep having questions, so you learn more than you were actually learning when you're just reading what you're reading.
So Fatima, that is a great point. So online learning, something that you should take away from it for next year when you're back in person, is that your resources don't end once you walk out of the classroom, right? The internet is an endless amount of resources, and it's forced you guys actually to use the internet more in a more educational purposes way. But what you just said, Fatima, is such a great point, because the reality of it is your teacher's not going to have the answer for everything, neither nor are you, but you have the internet at your disposal. So it allows you to, yes, go beyond the question and answer phase and give yourself some different outlets of where you can get information from. You know, if you're interested in something, research it. You know, that's part of human interest, right? If you're interested in something, a specific topic, hey, go out and research it. You have the internet at your disposal. So it's a great point. It's something that I hope next year you guys take these tech savvy skills, but your research skills that you've now had to incorporate on and use them for next year.
Yes, we realize sometimes that education is not only what you learn in school. What you learn in school many times are the skills that you need to, get your knowledge from everywhere and continuously. Those that become most successful are those who go beyond their assignment or homework, and they go beyond to understand deeper and to sharpen their skills till they have mastery of what they're doing. So maybe we have time for a couple more questions. A question is, what are some of the things that you discovered about yourself during this pandemic that you wouldn't have discovered otherwise? Some strengths that you've discovered, or some skills that you've discovered that you can acquire through this virtual learning time.
I have something to say. So for me, I actually picked up a lot of different skills because I do have a lot of free time. Rather than if I was in school, I would barely have any free time. So I took advantage of my time, and I used to not like drawing or like doing art as much. So I feel like over the virtual experience, I picked up drawing habits and like doing a bunch of different types of art.
Nice. Did anyone pick up a skill that they, or looked into a skill or challenged themselves to take on something? Fatima,
Yes,
go
please.
ahead.
This actually happened during last year in 5th grade. So I actually started coding. And so during the summer, I started coding more. And so I actually got into a few competitions. And so I still code, but just not as much.
Wow, Fatima, good for you. I actually want to know more about what you're doing. That's pretty awesome. That's a skill you're going to need, and for you to be doing that at such a young age, that's amazing. That's pretty impressive. That's very impressive. Anyone else? Anyone take on the piano, or try to learn how to play basketball or something? What do you got for me?
I started playing the piano. I started drawing a lot more, and also I made cards and stuff.
Very nice. Can you play a song?
Yeah, I can play a couple songs, but yeah.
That's good. That's impressive. Anyone else take on something? Did they start a new book? Did you guys read a new book? Start a new series? Don't tell me something about Netflix. I'm talking about reading. Did you see something that, Kauthar, what do you got?
So a couple months ago, I started actually writing, typing, and then printing them out, and then making a story. So I just keep them in a folder, so in the future I can just look at them.
That's awesome. Maybe one day I'll be able to read one of your books and you'll be an author. That would be amazing.
Can I add something?
Of course, go ahead.
Similar to what Gothar's doing, I've been trying to write a story and maybe even get it published, and I've also been learning Spanish.
Awesome.
Sí, hablas español. Mucho bueno.
Great job, guys. Yeah, I've picked up a habit of doing the Rubik's Cube. Doesn't seem very impressive compared to the skills that you've picked.
I also have something to add. Another habit that I've picked up was baking. I now love baking, and every time I go to my family's house, I would bake cupcakes for them, or cakes, or if there's any upcoming birthdays, I'll bake them a cake. So that's a habit that I've picked up.
That's awesome, Zainab. I picked up the habit of tasting what others bake. Yes, Kauthar.
I have advantage my free time. I took advantage of my free time and I started learning Japanese. Just a couple weeks ago, I wrote my name in Japanese, trying to learn it.
Oh wow!
That's a challenging language. For you to be able to, awesome. That's challenging. That's good. Anytime you learn a new language is actually challenging. No matter the language, the Arabic language alone is a challenge. So when you're going about it and adding a new skill like that, that's awesome. Good for you.
So yeah, like what Zainab said, yeah, I since when I said was becoming more independent, I guess that also came in for breakfast and cooking. So I have to start making myself breakfast. I started learning. I know how to make eggs, but I started making omelets, and I started learning how to make more stuff, and I started baking. I made cookies, and everyone really liked them. And yeah.
Listen, learning to cook is a skill I think everyone should have, because you can't always rely on mama and baba. You got to do it yourself sometimes, and especially when you want it a certain way. So that's always a great skill to have. You know what I did? I learned to I love to work with wood and make things and build things. So I probably bought every single tool that there is, and and I'm trying to work on my kitchen. But I love, that's a skill for me. That's what I'm very passionate about. I am very passionate about cooking. Unfortunately, with my diet, it doesn't allow me to really bake as much as I love to. But I love the culinary arts, and I love working with food. So I'm with you guys on that one.
So recently I started, so I never really used to like painting, but then recently I got into it, and I'm trying to paint every single day. Like when I have a break during school, I paint, and then yeah, it's getting better by the day. It's good.
That's
Mr.
awesome.
Abdullah, if you need help, if you're baking but your diet doesn't allow you,
You'll be my taste.
We're here to support each other. And
one thing I want to say, guys, is listen, don't think because you go to in person next year that you can't continue these things, right? I think one of the things you've learned, and you guys have said, is the independence, is the opportunity for you to take what you have learned this year as an independent person, with scheduling yourself, with creating a more structured approach. You could still do these things next year. I think it's something that I'm so looking forward to kids being in person next year, because they're going to realize that there's more to school, right? There's more because of who you are as a person now. You now realize I can do more. And it doesn't mean that, oh, I don't have the time. No, you do have the time. You just have to make it, right? You've got to set that schedule like you guys talked about, and stick to it. Those of you who want to participate in extracurricular activities, participate in them. But it doesn't mean it's the end of it, right? Once you leave school, you can still bake, you can still read, you could still write a book, you could still learn to play the piano, you could still learn to draw. Don't stop those things. That's what makes life so much fun, right? That's when you're building up on those skills.
Well, guys, thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Abdullah, for participating in this. And Mr. President Tabarak Tamimi, thank you for taking the lead in this, and everyone who participated. I know it was short notice for some of you, and you've actually stepped up and put it together. It was a great presentation, and thank you for being members of the student government even during this time. You've shown that leadership continues no matter what the challenges are. Mr. Abdullah, do you have anything final you want to say?
Guys, I'm proud of all of you. Being a part of student government is a big deal to me personally. I just feel like whenever you take on a leadership role, that's what you're doing, right? You're representing your classmates. You're taking on a leadership role, so it's a big deal. I don't want you to take it lightly. And when you take that on, you're being a risk taker, right? You're not just sitting behind the chair and letting someone else do the speak for you. You are that person, and that's awesome. That's. Take pride in that. Take pride in the fact that you are representing your school, you're representing your students, and here you are live in front of all these people talking. I give you guys so much credit for that. And hey, I look forward to those of you guys who are coming in person, and I look forward to having you guys next year. I'm super excited about what's ahead of us. But thank you guys for letting me join in.
Thank you. Any final words before we end?
So as much as you guys thank the students, I also personally want to thank the administrators and the teachers, because obviously we wouldn't get through this difficult time without them. And we just want to thank you guys for your hard work and your dedication to making sure that we're all okay and we're all being well educated. And so just thank you so much.
On behalf of the Star family, I really appreciate that. A lot of work goes into what's happening, right, and what's taking place, and those words mean a lot. I think you guys as parents, and you guys will appreciate your teachers a little bit more now, with your parents trying to help you guys out at home. But your teachers do a lot. Our staff does a phenomenal job, from the staff, everyone in the building, really. And those words mean a lot. And when you do see someone, when you do see your teachers, it's okay to say thank you. And it's okay to show your appreciation, because those words mean a lot to them.
Also, adding on to what Nag just said, that without the teachers, without the teacher support and everything, online school and us, we would be nowhere. We would probably be nowhere. We wouldn't be able to do anything without them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in general, them getting up every morning just so they can teach us, and struggling through taking care of their kids at home and doing their classes, and then also trying to teach 150 students. That's it means a lot to us.
Yeah, I was gonna say not just the teachers, but also the peer pro. They're taking a lot of hard time and work to be able to unblock links and help us just do this virtual learning at all. And at the beginning of last year, it was they had to find out how are we gonna go virtual.
Kenzie, what you said is a great point. It's everyone. Everyone at STAR is a team. We work as a team. When I just talk about teachers, I talk about everyone. Everyone in the building to me is an educator. The word teacher is it really should be an educator. We're all educators in the building. And if you look at the hard work that our lunch staff do, they don't get you guys have no idea the amount of work that these ladies are putting in every day to make sure that the families that come here to pick up food, the level of hard work it takes to take that on. And now I experienced it myself, and I think I'm pretty fit, and I'm like, wow, I could barely go through one day with them, and what they were able to do was an amazing job. But everyone, kudos to your parents, because your parents have had to step in and be educators as well. So kudos to all your parents and everyone at home.
All right, we are at 53 minutes of the show, and we have come to an end of it. I thank you very much, guys, for the warm feelings. Some students have some questions for you, Mr. Abdullah. Please stay in the studio afterwards, after we end the broadcast, and you can ask him the questions. Everyone who followed this show, please, we thank you for following it. It will be available now on YouTube and Facebook accounts and pages of all HES Academies. Feel free to share it with others if you feel that they'll use these tips. And thank you for SIA Student Government again, Mr. Hani Abdullah, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys.